The attendees number is flying up. That's fantastic. There we go. Let's give it a few minutes for everyone to join. For those of you who've already joined, we're just going to give it a couple of minutes because the attendees number is still flying up. So we want to make sure we've got as many people as possible before we start the session. Thank you for waiting. Okay, I think as we've, every time I'm about to start, more people suddenly join. We'll just give it another 30 seconds. Okay, I think as we've got it recorded, we'll kick off, Lanny, and we'll obviously share this out with everyone after today's session. So, firstly, thank you all for joining today's session. We are extremely excited to bring to you our newest USA university partner, our second in the USA, Mercy College, Manhattan. So, I'll quickly take you through just a little bit about the team and about the USA as well in general. So my name is Charlie Vine. I'm the new product launch director for Oxford International. And as you can see here on the screen, we've also got some other key members of the team that you may be in touch with over the coming months, as well as obviously the in-country staff that you know too well that are in the countries where you are working, where your teams are working, that are here to support you. So obviously, if you umbrella that out, there are probably about 30 people plus on here just specifically for this region there to support you. But please feel free to reach out to myself. It's anything to do with different launch events that are happening in and around your where you're based. Mark Ryan, our deputy head of admissions, that is integral to any new USA partnership that we set up. Lanny White, who you can see on the screen, our amazing new product launch marketing manager. So everything that you see today, and there's a lot more as well that we'll share with you that's through the agent portal of materials, fast fact fires, the website, which is just about to go live, and Andy Burfitt as well, our global director of North America, is actually at an event as we speak in Sharm el Sheikh, so is unable to join us for today's session. But just the sort of core team of what we have for supporting our USA programs. So firstly, I think, just a couple of slides on the USA itself, but I think it's always important to reflect on, why study in the USA, why the USA is the destination country. Obviously, Oxford International previously has focused a lot more on the UK, having now 7 university partnerships in the UK alone. In the USA, obviously very different in terms of student experience and indeed higher education. So firstly, noting that it is the top destination country globally for international students, with over 1 million international students currently enrolled. So it has extremely high quality of provision and facilities across its universities, and I think a great destination for students to study in. To be able to visit around the whole of the USA on just one visa, to be able to see so many different places, whether it's New York, San Francisco, they can go to the beach, go skiing, so much to do. So why a USA degree? So in terms of a USA degree, it's very different in terms of compared to a UK degree, where you want to be more specialised, thinking about what's to study ahead of actually studying in the UK. In America, you don't actually nominate your major until the second year of your study. So that first year of your study, whether you're coming direct or if you're coming pathway to institution in the USA, you'll actually be doing much more general education courses in that first year, giving the opportunity to see which areas of study may be of more interest to you before then committing to them. You could do double majors if you like. You can do a minor in a subject that's maybe a passion rather than something you're looking to go on to do as a career. So that flexibility of the educational system, I think, is a real benefit of the USA system, and really highly desirable by employers. So work opportunities in the USA. So both during and after studies, students would be able to, during their programs, undertake CPT, normally done during their programs. It can be done after as well, where they can do internships, internships, or a number of different areas that they can work that would essentially be potentially providing credits towards their degree. And one that I'm sure a lot of you are more familiar with, OPT, optional practical training. So that can actually allow students to stay in the USA for up to 24 months after their study. So great opportunity for students to stay there, to work, to gain experience, and potentially even be sponsored by their provider to stay in the USA after. So for 24 months of OPT, students would need to join a STEM program, of which we have a multitude of different STEM related programs at Mercy College that may be of interest. The standard initial period of STEM, for OPT is 12 months. And during student study as well, just worth noting that they can work for 20 hours per week when the school is in full session, and full time during the holiday or vacation, if you will, periods. So New York is a destination country. It really is such a international hub. I mean, just to give you context, 4 in 10 households in New York itself speak a language other than English. So it's one of the most diverse cities in the world, with 800 different spoken languages. So a great destination for international students to come in, study, and have much of their own culture around them for that familiarity while studying there. So Mercy College. So we're treating today's session much as a training session, if you will, and then obviously there will be recruitment launch events in and around different cities in your home country as well, to support applicants and indeed yourselves in recruiting to Mercy College, and for applicants that may be interested to hopefully apply and come and join us. So as of approximately 10 a.m. New York time, we will be going live with Mercy College. So our admissions will be up and running, systems permitting, and our website will then show full details of what you can see here today in today's presentation, and then the ability to apply through. So really excited about that. It's the big go live day. So looking forward to those first applications being received. So Mercy College, it's our newest university partner in the USA, based in New York City itself. It was founded in 1959. It has 3 campuses: Manhattan, Dobbs Ferry, and the Bronx, and we will be recruiting students to all 3 of those. So I'll provide you a bit more detail on each of those locations as we go through the presentation. So it is one of our most diverse partnerships globally, not even just in the USA. We have every entry point into the university, pretty much, both undergraduate pathway, undergraduate direct, graduate pathway and graduate direct entry all through Oxford International. So that's one application form. It's the application form that will shortly go live up on our website to include Mercy College. The students can apply through any of these different routes to come and study with us based on their English and academic ability will dictate where would be the appropriate starting point at the university. So really excited about that. It's quite a diverse entry into the university that we haven't done to the same level elsewhere before. So I'll just quickly show you a quick video. Hopefully the sound at least comes through and the picture, but just giving you a little taster of Mercy College Manhattan. Hopefully that came through to you all right. So that was specifically Mercy College Manhattan. So right in downtown Manhattan itself, an absolutely remarkable location. You're literally opposite Macy's. You can see the Empire State Building from the center, and it's where Oxford International's hub will be based within Mercy College. So all pathway students studying at Mercy College will study at the Manhattan campus, and then obviously we assist direct students to all of their campuses. But I'll go into a bit more detail in a second. So why is Mercy College so special? So social mobility is recognized the top 20 of schools in the USA. So that's enabling students from all sorts of different backgrounds to come and study at the university. And that obviously applies to, obviously international students coming through looking to diversify the nationalities on campus. There's a huge range of different undergraduate and postgraduate programs, over 100 different program students can look to study with us. It has proven graduate outcomes, great alumni, absolutely fantastic university services. Its location is second to none, especially at the Manhattan campus. To be in downtown Manhattan with your accommodation there, your classes there, is just absolutely phenomenal. And as I said, proven success. There's over 70,000 graduates around the world that have studied at Mercy College to date. So just a couple of rankings for you. So Washington Monthly ranked Mercy College the best bang for buck in the Northeast. So I think that sums it up pretty well. Looking across our competition within Manhattan itself, New York in general, and indeed the USA, its tuition fees are extremely affordable. So great return on investment when you're looking at the outcomes of students going on into work after. So it's a top performer on campus for ethnic diversity as well, and for social mobility. So essentially, again, looking at widening the scope of students that are coming into the university. And obviously that's a big part of why Oxford International is working with Mercy College today to help enable that further. And always nice to have a distinguished award from the White House as well, but in terms of community service, that they're doing great things within New York, which I think is fantastic to see. So just a quick overview of the different campuses. So as I mentioned, Mercy Manhattan is where all pathway students will be based. As you can see there, that's the college to the left, Empire State Building to the right, and you can see it from nearly all of the main rooms, obviously facing out onto the high street there, onto 34th Street, Herald Square. You can see Empire State Building off to your left, Macy's right in front of you, and if you look just down the corner, you can see Penn Station as well. So absolutely just phenomenal location where students can study. Also, their Manhattan dormitories, their residencies, if you like, is also based within the same building. So you literally jump in the lift in the morning, downstairs to the cafeteria, grab your cup of coffee, sit in the library overlooking the Empire State Building before you get ready to go to classes. It's absolutely fantastic, and it's very affordable as well in terms of those costs. And it's also worth noting it is pretty much brand new. It was refurbished just a couple of years ago, and you'll see, I think, from the videos as we go through the quality of those provisions that students will have.
The famous 19th century Brooklyn preacher and abolitionist Henry Ward Beecher, who said, "It's easier to go down a hill than it is to go up, but the view is better from the top." The view is better from the top. I don't think it's a surprise that Mercy College should find itself climbing upwards rather than strolling downwards, since our students are quintessential hill climbers. And what do hill climbers win for their troubles? Well, you win the view. You win the view. It's better up here, and what a view it is. A state-of-the-art facility serving students who will play an immensely prominent role in the future of this country.
Students have an opportunity to be inspired, they have an opportunity to be motivated, even while they're sitting here studying, or now with our new cafeteria space eating. And as they look out, they're basically going to be able to say, you know what, one day I'm going to be out there either working in those spaces or owning those spaces, and that's something we think cannot be replicated anywhere else in America.
The central location of this newly renovated campus provides our students with access to the industry leaders, corporations, and organizations that impact our economy. Students here will have the opportunity to achieve degrees in high-demand fields and acquire the real-world experience necessary to be future leaders.
We're the business improvement district that covers this neighborhood, including running those parks across the street. And we hope to see a lot of you Mercy College students studying out there. It's a very nice environment for studying, so we'll welcome you.
I was born in Yonkers, and 2 days later, my mom took me home to Dobbs Ferry. Mercy College, I know it and I love it. Now, as the president and CEO of the Greater New York Chamber of Commerce, I get to come close to it every day.
I'm excited that I'm here today to unveil the piece Unstoppable Mercy Manhattan. For me, it was really researching the college, where it's come from and what it is today, and the nurturing feeling. I hope it encourages them to go for it in life.
At this point, we would also like to unveil a replica of our rededication plaque that is hung in the lobby.
When I first came to Mercy College, it was for the Summer Entrepreneurship and Marketing Academy. We had the chance to visit with leading companies and learn from their executives about what was needed to succeed. While I enjoyed visiting Dobbs Ferry in the Bronx, I knew Manhattan would be my campus. I instantly fell in love with the college and knew this was where I belonged. Mercy makes me feel welcome because of the warmth of the faculty and staff with whom I've made personal bonds. It gives me joy to call Mercy College my college.
So hopefully you can see from that what I mean in terms of the quality of provision. It's great location, but also absolutely beautiful campus environment. So I think this map helps sort of point that out further. You can see where Mercy College there is, the dark blue circle in the middle. Literally 1 block away from the Empire State Building, right next to Macy's, and just 2 blocks away from Penn Station. So absolutely perfect location for students to study in and to experience. So just a couple more photos of the facilities there. You can see the library, which is just based off on the same floor away from the cafeteria. The cafeteria has a wide range of different choices available to students. I'm not sure these photos show it, but it was also right next to the gaming rooms where students, as either part of it is actually an official university sport, gaming, can go and play and have fun, or indeed take part in university sports for that as well. And then multiple levels below and above for classrooms as well. So accommodation. So we do have accommodation across both the Manhattan campus and Dobbs Ferry. I'll just talk a little bit about the accommodation at the Manhattan Center first. So named Dorm 34. It's a great living space. To be able to wake up again with those views across Manhattan is truly unique, I think, in terms of experience. The rooms are very, very beautifully furnished, fully furnished, with beds, desk, wardrobe. They have laundry facilities for students, great Wi-Fi, obviously essential these days, and hook up for free printing. And then obviously you're in and around the different students at the campus. Also, in terms of the all-you-can-eat campus dining, you can see the rates there just off to the right for the meal plan. That is mandatory for students that are taking up accommodation options through the university. But staying in university accommodation isn't mandatory. It's just there, obviously, if students would find that of interest. Our booking process for accommodation to Mercy College, students can actually pay for and secure their accommodation much earlier in the process than we've got at our other USA institution. So they can actually pay a small deposit of $100, which then maintains that room for them. There are limitations to the number of rooms that are available, so it is worthwhile doing that. If you have a student that's really keen on coming to Mercy College, definitely wants to stay within the building, I would highly recommend it. For any students that miss out on that opportunity, maybe they're applying late, or maybe they're looking for other options available to them, we have a number of different key providers that we use across Manhattan that will be sharing details of in an accommodation flyer that will be saved in the agent portal. So we have a couple of different ones in Manhattan and then outside of Manhattan as well that students can choose from with varying rates. So just another video to show Manhattan campus in a bit more detail.
The Manhattan campus, I love this campus. It is on 34th Street, so located to all the trains that are accessible. Brooklyn, Queens, I mean, we've had people in the Manhattan campus that come from Long Island. Like, that's dedication. One of my coworkers come from Staten Island. She takes a bus, a ferry, another bus, and a train to come here. And it's just about the environment. The Manhattan campus is really about, it's like the heart, I would say. It's the heart of Manhattan, and the fact that Mercy was located here was honestly the best thing that Mercy has ever done. It might be busy outside, but once you come here, it's like, okay, this is relaxation. And we make sure that our students are always on top of their game, and we make sure everyone is very welcoming. It's like you come in and everyone's like, good morning, Sasha, have a great day, Sasha. Or sometimes when I go away on the weekends, I bring my luggage. It's like, have a great weekend, Sasha, great this, Sasha. And I'm like, oh my God, thanks. And it's so welcoming here. I've never experienced an environment so welcoming. And the Manhattan campus is small, and I know it's small compared to like the Bronx or maybe Dobbs Ferry, but the small environment makes it a better environment to get to know everybody. If I don't know somebody on this campus, they have to be new, because I know everybody on this campus. Everyone makes sure that we know each other, and the library especially is the best place ever to study. It might be a small library, not as big, but it's always quiet, and there's always other students helping other students. If it's not even with the same class, everyone's always together, and I think that's what makes Manhattan really welcoming.
I think she's absolutely spot on. I actually went to Mercy College, to the Manhattan campus quite recently, and there is a real sense of community. I think it's about 5 floors in total, but you do end up sort of obviously getting to know the people within those extremely well. So yeah, Mercy College Manhattan campus, absolutely fantastic. But we also have, and I think this is really as part of the Mercy College provision is very unique, is the fact that they've got that Manhattan campus, but only 20 minutes away by train. They also have their Dobbs Ferry campus. They also have the Bronx, on which I'll come to in a minute. But it's 30 minutes from Manhattan, so it's very close in terms of being able to walk then to Central Station and then get the train. The train, as you can see, not maybe quite in that photo, it follows the Hudson all the way down to campus, and there is a station actually on campus that students can get out and walk straight into their classes there. At Dobbs Ferry, that's where the majority of the sports facilities are maintained. You can see a couple of them, I think, just in the background. I'll show you a better one in a minute, where obviously students can come from Manhattan campus and enjoy all those same facilities. If they're based out of Manhattan, that's absolutely fine. They've still got access to everything that the university has to offer. So for our direct students coming to Mercy College, they can choose across the 3 different campuses. We have a matrix of which programs are available at each campus. Sometimes programs are available at multiple campuses, so it really depends on the type of experience they want to enjoy. I think for Pathway students coming in and having that Manhattan experience, regardless of them whether they go on to Bronx or to Dobbs Ferry, I think is something that they really enjoy and would be something that they look back on extremely fondly. But it is great to have both this and then the Manhattan campus as well that students can enjoy. So I'll just show you a quick video of what that looks like in terms of getting from the train to class and the sort of facilities the university has to offer.
This station is Artsy on Hudson, Mercy College.
I know, right? Are you going to the basketball game later? Go Matt! Or just ask your PAC mentor about registering for classes. They'll help you out.
You think I should get pizza or burger?
Hey man, why not both?
When's our next anime club meeting?
Can't have too many MAB sweatshirts.
Me voy a la tutoría. Nos vemos luego.
I'm headed to the quiet zone to study. Guess what? I got the internship.
That's great!
Practicing here in the sim lab will help you feel prepared when you're in the hospital with real patients.
If you have any questions about class today, just send me an email.
If you want to review today's class, I host office hours twice a week, and I'm always available by appointment.
What's the plan this weekend? Take the train to the city or stay local?
I love campus this time of year.
I was thinking of starting a basketball intramurals team this season. You in?
Hey, I heard there's a movie night in the lounge later. Wanna check it out?
When's our next theater club meeting?
Oh, we're meeting tomorrow. I heard there's a movie.
Your 3D gaming projects are due in 2 weeks. Let me know if you'd like to review your progress.
Did you catch the end of the men's basketball game last night? What a thriller.
I know, right? That game-winning three-point shot was clutch.
hope that didn't make you too dizzy. I know even with strong Wi-Fi that can be a little bit jumpy, but hopefully you got some of the impression there of the university, the high quality provision, not just academic, but social, sports, and again, that proximity from the train station right onto campus and with the accommodation there for students to stay at, I think is absolutely phenomenal. From the train station itself, you can actually see then, because it's so close, it's less than 30 minutes by train then into Manhattan. You can see the Manhattan on the skyline there. I'm not sure if the video did it justice. Worth noting at this point, all videos that you see from this, and including today's presentation, will be saved onto our agent portal. So if you couldn't see it on there, you might have more joy using those videos from the agent portal that you can watch in your own time. One thing I forgot to mention at the beginning of the session, I do apologize, is that there is a Q&A function on your Zoom. Please do feel free to ask any questions we go through. Hopefully I'll cover off those as we go through the presentation itself, but any that we don't, we will cover in a Q&A at the end of today's session. So do please utilize that as we go through, should you have any questions. So at Dobbs Ferry, there's actually two types of accommodation that we have available. Founders Hall, which is predominantly for first year students. It has a mixture of double, triple, quad occupancy rooms, really dependent on applicants' budget and preference. Also Hudson Hall, though, which is generally set up to be doubles rooms en suite, but it's quite often predominantly for upperclassmen, but not purely for that. So again, accommodation isn't mandatory to stay on campus, but students that are staying on campus would need to sign up to a meal plan for those to ensure that they've got food to hand during their studies. So campus life at Mercy College, particularly at Dobbs Ferry, has over 50 different student clubs and societies, starting new ones the whole time. And obviously, if there are any there that haven't been started yet, that's something that students will be supported to set up and to do. It has absolutely award-winning student paper that covers all the different sports and societies that are covered at the university. And it has 10 teams at NCAA Division II level, which I think is absolutely great, rather than being Division 1 where students may not have the opportunity to join the teams because it'll be so highly competitive to join. Division 2 I think is high enough that you're actually playing in some significant tournaments, but at the same time students joining from other countries would have the opportunity still to try out for those and potentially become a member of the team. So just a little overview of what those are. So they have 10 NCCA Division 2 sports. This is only a small overview, though, of the different sports that are covered at the university, but just a sort of high level: basketball, field hockey. The lacrosse team at Mercy College, I know that's quite specific to certain countries that do play lacrosse. It's not quite as widely played as the likes of football, but it's ranked nationally number 4 by Nike US lacrosse top 20 polls. So a really good lacrosse team if you do have any students that are looking to endeavor in that. And all of these teams, by the way, they have both men's and women's teams that students can join. Soccer, or football if you will, softball, volleyball, and baseball, also all part of the university sports teams. So it's worth mentioning Mercy College mentorship and student support program. So this is additional support beyond what obviously Oxford International will be covering itself, which is a big key part of the value proposition we bring to students coming to universities from their home country. But at Mercy College itself, they support and mentor students right from their sophomore year. And this isn't just necessarily about the academic support that they need. It can be about career development, financial support, student life in general. So I think is a really wonderful thing to have there to make sure that our students are well looked after. And specifically for international students, they do tend to need that additional help given the big change in their environment and experience. So wonderful that the university does that themselves. And finally, the Bronx campus. So just worth noting, we don't have any accommodation, university accommodation at the Bronx campus. So you'd either be looking at students traveling to the Bronx each day from you living at Dobbs Ferry would probably be make the most sense. But most of the students study at the Bronx are commuter students that would live locally, and we can support that with different accommodation options available to them. In terms of the actual programs that are run at the Bronx, there is quite a number, but it does tend to be where most of their lab-based programs, or a lot of their lab-based programs are. They have state-of-the-art facilities there, and again, it's really easy to get between the two different, the three different campuses from the Bronx campus itself. So Mercy College International. So just to talk a little bit about the pathway entry, it's very similar to any of you that have worked with us for San Francisco State University, a very similar model in terms of setup. So what we'll be looking at is essentially students that need additional English language support and a soft landing to study in the USA, higher education. They would come through the international year one at the university, which essentially would support them through that first year of their studies before going on to year two, onto sophomore year at Mercy College after they studied with us. The majority of students will be coming into a 2-semester program, which is the same length as students going into the university directly into their freshman year. If students have high enough English, we can then support students directly into the freshman year directly with the university. Obviously, with that, then that would be the university supporting their initial studies. It wouldn't have that same kind of courses built in around their credit bearing courses to support them. So you'd be looking at maybe students that have traveled abroad before, a little bit more mature, and again, that their English language is high enough to make sure they don't get behind during their studies at the university. So just a brief overview of that. So in terms of the entry criteria for the program, for both undergraduate pathway and direct, the academic requirements is equivalent to a 2.3 GPA. So it really is the English that will essentially dictate whether or not students need pathway entry or can come direct to the university. We run 3 intakes a year, same as San Francisco State University. So one in August, and August this year will be our inaugural intake at Mercy College. So we're really excited about that. But obviously, we also have intake in January should students not be able to get their visas in time to come and study with us, and again in May, which is great for progression then onto the university. There is no SAT or ACT requirement to come into the program. We're looking purely at their high school studies for undergraduate entry, and the equivalency then to the GPA of 2.3. In terms of entry criteria, these will all be listed on our website when that goes live, so you can see what that looks like for different types of education system you'd be supporting your applicants from. During their studies with us, quite an important one, students will receive 24 credits towards their degree. So the English language requirements is just a brief overview. There is obviously more details again on our website, or you can contact our admissions for further support. But essentially, we accept English language qualifications from IELTS, our ELT program, which I'm sure many of you have used to support students before, which you can come through our website in order to take that examination at a much lower cost and very ease of access. That is accepted by the university for pathway and direct, and TOEFL as well. We accept Duolingo, PVT, so quite a range. But essentially, if you use that chart as an equivalency as a guide, there are a number of different educational systems, countries that are exempt as well, where students have studied in the medium of English for 2 years. They wouldn't be necessary for them to provide through a English proficiency exam. So again, much more information online, but just a brief overview of what those requirements are. So here you can see the different entry points through to the undergraduate pathway. So we take students as low as IELTS 4.5 or equivalent to those other English proficiency exams that I've noted. If you were coming through at 4.5, that is when students would be studying a 3-semester program. And you can see in terms of the English language support that's there in that first semester is a much heavier component, but they would still be doing academic credits, 3 of them within that first semester, but then really ramping that up into their second and third semester, where they would take 9 credits in the second semester and 12 credits in the third. The vast majority of applicants that we see come through for our pathway for San Francisco State University is into the 2-semester programs, and quite regularly into the 2-semester advance. We expect to see the same with Mercy College Manhattan. So that would be 2 semesters, and during that time, as you can see, students would gain a total of 24 credits towards their degree. An average student coming direct into a freshman program would look to take 30 credits towards their degree. So you see it's just marginally less, but the huge amount of additional support those students get that make it a truly soft landing into that educational system that helps them in and around not just their spoken and English language, but the actual academic English for supporting their degree. So across Mercy College, it has 4 different schools with over 30 different degree options that students can study. As you can see, a number of those are listed as STEM, which would enable students to stay on in the USA for longer after they complete their studies, should they wish to study those. And again, students don't nominate their major until they go into their second year of those studies, but it'd be good sort of for them to obviously make sure that there has a wide range of different degrees that they could go on to after doing their pathway. So for our graduate pathways, we'll be looking at academic equivalency to 2.7 GPA, and worth noting, there is no GRE or GMAT requirement for coming into the graduate pathway at Mercy College. So obviously very excited about that. Again, duration of the program is dictated by English proficiency of applicants. So if they have the required English, they may not even need a graduate pathway, but if they're just missing the level necessary to go on into the university, students can study the graduate pathway and gain 6 to 12 credits towards their graduate program whilst getting that additional support. So we're expecting the vast majority of students may be coming in only for 1 semester prior to going on into the university, but again, it's that soft landing into their study then with the university. And again, 3 intakes a year, August, January, and May, and we'll have a matrix of the different intakes programs that are available and which run. Obviously, that does vary, particularly for direct, as in terms of availability. So do utilize that. That'll be again housed in the agent portal. I'll share the link with you shortly. The key areas of study that we're supporting students at graduate pathway is through computer science, cybersecurity, MBA, and MS Business Analytics. So just to sort of focus in on those 4 graduate programs. Obviously, there's a much wider range of graduate programs that are available at the university. However, these are the 4 that we're expecting the highest volume of international applicants to come through to the university. So wanted to put this provision in place to support them should they need it. With the MBA, worth noting it has 8 different concentrations. So accounting, finance, healthcare management, human resource management, international business management, managerial analytics, marketing, and organizational leadership. So a wide range of different MBA concentration students can look to study, and it is in terms of average salary of students going on to work in business and financial services after study at Mercy College. Is a very healthy starting salary to start with, as you can see there from the slide. So MS Business Analytics and Pathway, with most companies moving towards gathering data with the objective of driving business decisions, and Masters of Business Science and Business Analytics is a great graduate degree to have in terms of employability. And again, as you can see, starting salaries are in and around the $93,000 mark is really not too bad. MSc Computer Science pathway. So again, a wide range of different jobs that students can go to from this. Worth noting, albeit just for a short course, Mark Zuckerberg, before he went on to Harvard, actually did study through the computer science program at Mercy College, which is pretty cool. Yeah, great provision at the university for this. And finally, cybersecurity. The cybersecurity facilities at the university are absolutely fantastic. So they actually have a completely different server and system across the university that's not connected to the university system, that's purely for practicing that security of it, purposely infecting it to try and resolve what's been done to it. It really is wonderful to see in terms of what provision is there for students. And as you can see, the average salary of students going on into to work within information security is huge. So average salary there, $133,000 a year, not too bad at all. So direct entry. So we have obviously a much wider range of degrees that are available to students if they're coming direct. So it's to all university degrees that are on offer apart from nursing. So if students are meeting the English language requirement for that, and obviously academic, this is something we also support students through at both undergraduate and graduate level. We currently do not support university transfer students, so students coming to year 2, etc. But that is something we would look to do in the future, but we will not be doing from the point of launch. So application easy, as always, we have our application form, Oxford International application form, which when you come through our website, you can apply through to any of our institutions that we work with globally. So there'll be a page specifically on Mercy College when you come to our website, and from there, select Mercy College, and it'll take you down through the different options that are available. So just a high-level overview. So essentially, we have two different admissions processes for Mercy College. One that is for programs that we do not require university department review, as illustrated on this slide. So the speed of turnaround for this is phenomenal. So if you have a complete application, you have everything necessary that we need to review a student's application and then support them onto gaining their I-20 and applying for their visa appointment. From flash to bang, you can do that full process if you have everything complete within 7 business days, which I think is absolutely brilliant. And to be fair, probably less when it comes to the I-20 end. That's just to make sure we have a buffer to allow for weekends, etc. But that's extremely fast by American standards within higher education for turnaround from application to visa appointment. So this applies to essentially our undergraduate pathway, our graduate pathway, and for direct undergraduate. But graduate studies is where it starts to disseminate, is that we support students through this process, this simplified, expedited process for MBA and for business analytics. For all other programs, so not including MBA and MS, business analytics, all other graduate direct programs, there is an additional stage to this where essentially the applications will have to go through faculty review. So a key difference that we do there is that rather than it being a conditional offer, as you see in the first processing slide, which is very, very similar to what we have at San Francisco, because we're doing direct, we actually will provide a offer in principle that essentially says, your student looks to be eligible. However, this is conditioned on approval from faculty review, just so that there's no concerns there around we don't want to see any retracted offers, etc. as students come through. Good to see some questions going up there, and I will answer those at the end if that's okay. So tuition and fees. So I think if you're familiar to average tuition and fees in particularly Northeast America, I think you'll agree, extremely affordable tuition there at the undergraduate pathway, ranging between $20,000, $25,000, depending on the number of semesters taken. Again, our projections is that it'll be the majority coming through for 2 semesters, so around the $20,000 mark. For graduate pathway, between 12 and 18, again, depending on the number of semesters that are necessary. The vast majority of applicants probably only need 1 semester study, so it'll be around the $12,000 for the program, for the pathway itself. With direct and whether it's undergraduate or graduate, obviously just bearing in mind registration fees and also dependencies on the number of credits that are taken. So just to give you a range, you'd be looking at around 21,000 for undergraduate direct, and for graduate direct between 30,000 and 37,000 towards the program. For a couple of the different graduate programs, such as communication disorder, marriage, family therapy, and school psychology, the cost of that being quite significantly higher, but in terms of demand for those, maybe slightly lower than the other graduate programs such as MBA that are offering computer science, etc. So estimated living costs during the time study would be 16,300, and then there's just a breakdown of the different accommodation that I spoke through earlier in the presentation for the per semester cost of those, again ranging and dependent on students' choices, whether they're in shared accommodation or en suite. And then just a brief overview of the meal plan rate, which again is only necessary for students that are staying within university accommodation itself. So I guess finally, in terms of interview at consulate, when students receive their I-20, we'll be supporting students as yourselves will be for the different documents that are needed for that process. We have our own conversion team that will be speaking through to students, to applicants, to ensure that they have everything, they have a good idea of what to expect as part of the consulate visit, the type of questions that they may be asked, just so they feel confident in their application and they're ready to go through that process. It's not a matter of prepping them up to give them the answers. There are no right or wrong answers, just that they're not nervous and they don't make a mistake when speaking through with the consulate staff. So I think it's just in summary, really, as we've gone through, of why Mercy College, why would this be a good fit to to your portfolio, to applicants you might have coming through the door. I mean, again, location. We're doing this on purpose. Oxford International, working with institutions that we think are in absolutely phenomenal locations, much like with San Francisco State University in the Bay Area. We now have a downtown Manhattan university. So this is not in a borough off the side of Manhattan. This is in central Manhattan. It's just absolutely phenomenal location to be able to study and experience for students, but at really affordable rates, both for the tuition and for the accommodation itself. So great opportunities for students to get that that experience, but without breaking the bank in order to do so. And to have such a wide-ranging access of university facilities. So again, pathway students have full access to the university facilities, whether that's sports, societies, etc. They'll be able to enjoy, as well as then obviously undertaking their program before progressing on into the university for the remainder of their program. And with over a 100 different undergraduate and graduate routes for students to choose from. So you've got that diversity of campus, diversity of program, great locations, wonderful experience. So worth just highlighting here. So after today's session, obviously thank you for registering to today's event. So we have your email now. We'll send a follow-on email from today's session with this recording of the presentation, should you wish to share with your colleagues. But also just worth highlighting our marketing support materials that we have available for you and your colleagues' use. So this is in our agent portal. So again, the links in here, and you'll find from there fact sheets that we have available. So there's a financial overview, an accommodation overview, a degree overview, lots of different stuff in there that I think is extremely helpful to applicants when looking to potentially come and study with Mercy College. Also banners, presentations, videos, photos, even brand guidelines should you want to get materials and things printed for yourselves to use. So please do utilize that. I think it's a great resource to have. If you have any issues with accessing it, email through to or contact your in-country Oxford International representative, or through to us centrally. We'd be more than happy to support you so that you can have access to that. So we'll follow up in an email after today's event to help with that. Obviously the website itself, so if you're clicking on in there now, I don't think you'll see Mercy College quite yet, or not the full suite of what Lanny is probably about to press going live on. We're obviously matching that up to the point that our missions goes live at 10 a.m. New York time. So i.e. later today, and at that point then all the full pages and the application form will also show Mercy College for your students' use. So very excited about the first applications coming through. And yes, I think that really just takes us on to the Q&A, unless I've missed anything. Lanny, I know you've been sitting there quietly. Is there anything else on marketing materials that worth noting? Did I cover everything that we have?
You've covered everything beautifully.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Lanny.
I have popped a link into the Q&A for the agent portal. Everything is on there in terms of the fact sheet. The videos that Charlie shared today, the presentation isn't on there yet, but we will share that later today once the applications are open. And as Charlie said, the applications will open at 9 a.m. New York time.
Cool. So systems willing, so do bear with us, maybe give yourself a little buffer if you do have applications waiting to come through. So thanks, Lanny, appreciate that. So some really good questions for you on the Q&A. I know some of those have been answered, but I think I'll cover them just for the benefit of the wider audience. So thank you, Angel. Yeah, you're quite correct. So for undergraduate pathway, that's just part of the total duration of study. So it's still 4 years of study for an undergraduate student coming through, just the same as it'd be direct, but you are right, for graduate pathway, it does add to the total duration of the program. Just worth noting that's done by credits. So students was actually gain 6 to 12 credits while studying the pre-masters. So although that does add 1-2 semesters of study to the program, that's 6 to 12 less credits that are needed then towards the graduate program. So in essence, reduces the cost of when students are doing the remainder of their graduate program to study. Hi Nan, great question. Do we accept GD? We do. So the full listing of entry criteria will be on the website for your use, I think I can talk about this, but maybe I can't. But essentially, we're actually not doing a brochure straight away, we're doing a fast fact fire. This is mainly because the university is actually being awarded university status. So by the time students come to study with us in August, Mercy College will no longer be Mercy College, it'll be Mercy University. So we're extremely excited about that. But our new brochure and suite of materials will come out later in the year with that new branding, and the full brochure will contain none what you're used to of that sort of country by country equivalency, but that's also accessible on our website. So extremely excited about that change of status. I'm not sure if I wasn't meant to say that or not, but I have. So yeah, I think worth informing your applicants as they come through, because I think perception of a college can sometimes be negative. It is a university, it is university status, but the title will change to reflect that coming into this next intake. So really excited by that.
Sorry, just jumping in there.
Yeah.
I think it's about the 21st of August
Ooh,
that it
cool.
will be announced, or with launched from Mercy College to Mercy University. So all of their website and their collateral, their side will be changed over at the same time in line with us.
So cool. That's really great. And obviously, shame it couldn't line up with launching, but I think ultimately, I think that's something students and their parents will definitely be interested in knowing. So something you can definitely talk about with them. I'm really excited about that. Angel, another great question. Thank you. Yes, Duolingo is accepted. So Duolingo, PVT, ELT, IELTS, TOEFL. If you have any others that aren't as part of that you would like us to consider, please do let us know. All of this will be listed on the website as well, so that you can see how we match those proficiencies for your use. Another question here. I think we covered that, so that's good. Yes, great question, Sishan, thank you. So our application form does cover all entry points. So if you have a student that's looking for pathway or direct, it's worth noting on the application form, you can't actually click on whether or not you want the application for pathway or direct. It will be based on the academic ability of the student to which way they will be processed. If you do have a student that meets the English requirements of direct, but the student would actually really like to still have that soft landing of pathway, all you need to do is to contact us afterwards to confirm that. Usually students' preference is to go direct if they are eligible. That's completely understandable, but in some cases I think it's particularly if you've got younger applicants coming through at 16 years old, let's say that's the minimum entry age for Mercy College, is that that maybe it would be more appropriate for them to come through a supported first year of study. I would suggest that, but it's just really to you to guide us on in our process. Cool. I think that's all. We've got another one here. Cool, great stuff. Yes, we do accept Miramar High School. Yeah, I think for those sort of very specific questions, we're speaking to our international representative or to our admissions directly, and we will have a full country by country chart, much like we do for San Francisco State University, where you can see what that criteria is following today's session. So we'll share the link to that in our follow-up email, so that that's easy for you to access. But any questions on those? I mean, essentially, what you're looking at is equivalency to completion of high school studies and a GPA that's equivalent to a 2.3 GPA. So we've done those equivalencies already per academic system, again, much like with San Francisco State University. So it's very definitive in terms of when you're looking at a student's transcripts to see whether or not they are eligible, you will be able to make that assessment from the point of your review, so that what you're telling a student is then the outcome of what you receive from us. The only exception to that being, again, is for those graduate programs where essentially we do not have a pathway, where they do go through department review. Those would be based on a more holistic approach by the department. So again, just worth noting that, and is reflected in our overall entry criteria. Tuition fees, good one. So I'll just flick back to those in the presentation so everyone can see them. I think they're extremely competitive in terms of our other competition in and around the region. But you can make that gauge yourselves when looking at this. We'll have a financial overview as part of those flyers that essentially will give more detail to all different fees and things that are charged. But I think this is a good summary of it. Yeah, so progression requirements, same as San Francisco State University, a 2.0, maintaining a 2.0 GPA from freshman to the following year. So very achievable in terms of what they need to maintain to go on through. I think, Lanny, is that all the questions answered? I'm just making sure I haven't missed any. Yes, another great question. We will share the presentation after the meeting so that you can share that out to colleagues. Please do so, and the links to the presentation itself, should you wish to present it, which we would obviously be very grateful for you doing at any events that you may be doing, but also a recording of this session. So should you wish to watch Lanny and I again, you can, and share with colleagues too.
You've got 3 more questions on there, Charlie.
Oh, do I? Which ones have I missed? Let's have a look.
So if you, in the top, there should be a little tab that says
See,
open.
yeah, there we are. Those have popped up. That's great. Thank you, Lenny. Cool. So I've done the progression. So that's 2.0 for progression out of the pathway into the university. Do we provide scholarships? Good question. So as you can see, for the pathway entry, it is extremely competitive pricing already. So I think speak free to your in-country representative things that may be available, but generally speaking, for the pathway, given the low cost of the program, probably not a huge number of them. But for direct entry, as you can see, a slightly higher cost, there are scholarships that are available. These are normally based on an academic merit basis. Those will be covered off in the financial overview so that you can see the full details of them. So yes, scholarships available at the university, but more so for direct and for progression as well. So if a student's maintaining a certain GPA, that they would be eligible for scholarships. I think for the Lanny, correct me if I'm wrong when I get this, well, I get this the wrong way around, but I think it's undergraduate. It's essentially there's a sliding scale of GPA that students maintain would enable a set scholarship for those that are continuous per year of study. So which is great. But good question, Kate. Thank you. None. Insurance fees, compulsory or optional? That's a great question, actually. I do need to check that. I don't want to guide that on this call. I'll include that on the financial overview. Thank you, Nan. It's always something we don't think of when we get to these events. So, I mean, obviously, in terms of insurance, it is really key in the USA that you have it, but I will check to see whether that's compulsory or optional. Cool. I think then we are covered. I mean, do feel free after today's event, obviously, to speak to our in-country staff. We've got wonderful staff in country in APAC in general, so I'm sure they'll be willing to help. And of course, if there's anything that comes through that that maybe we can assist with centrally and at the college, please do ask. We'd be more than happy to. I imagine a number of those questions will be admissions based, so Mark and his team will also be there to support you. But looking back at just the overview of this partnership, it is one of our more diverse in terms of entry. The fact that it's undergraduate pathway, undergraduate direct, graduate pathway, and graduate direct. I'm sure there will be many more questions that come up, and we'd be very happy to help you and your students through those. But unless there's anything else, Lanny, in terms of did anyone write on the chat? No, it's all good Q&A. So perfect. I think that draws us to a close. Yeah, just checking to see if there's any other questions come through. No, all done. So thank you so much for your, oh, there we are. I do the V1 more. How many credits can be accepted? So yeah, in terms of credits that come through, so students that are looking for, we don't support students into transfer into following years of study, so whether it's into year 2 plus, but in terms of credits that are accepted and applied towards the degree, that's actually done post admission, and we're looking for further clarity on how many can be accepted towards the degree. So now we will come back to you on that, Share. Another really good question. Thank you. Perfect. All right, so I think on that one then, I think if there's any other questions, please do feel free to contact us and we'd be happy to support you. But I think for now, we're all set, and thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. It's been wonderful talking to you all day today. Thank you. And thank you, Lanny, for joining us. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Okay, wonderful. Hopefully speak to you all soon. Thank you so much.